Everybody, McGruer31 back here for FSi DFS. I'm going to be breaking down two slates in this video. I'm going to be doing the early slate for Wednesday, May 11th, and I'm going to be doing the afternoon slate. I will not have the main slate for you, but stay tuned at the end of the video and I'll give you some thoughts about how you can get our information on that. So looking at this early slate, 4 games, no other concerns. Pitching is not really good. First game, you have the Dodgers and the Pirates. It's the first game of doubleheader. So you have Ryan Peprot being called up from AAA. His numbers were decent down there, and I think he's definitely viable at 6'2". I wish he was a little bit cheaper, but he's a Dodgers pitcher. Probably will go 4 innings. Really doesn't need to get you that much. His K per 9 was decent in minor leagues. He did give up about 1 home run a game there. So, but his ERA is around 4, but it's good up against the Pirates and it's a doubleheader. So they're probably going to water down their lineup also. So definitely like him as a cheap choice for you there. Actually, let me go to the early tab. There we go. Next up, Dylan Peters and Pittsburgh, not interested at all. Dodgers think is one of the top stacks on the slate against him. Pittsburgh, really not interested unless you're trying to like stack everybody. It's a small slate and you can definitely do that in 150 max. Milwaukee and Cincinnati. Cincinnati's actually been putting up some runs. They've scored like 30 runs over the last couple of games. So it's weird to actually like something flash in the pan, maybe, who knows. Hauser has not been great to start the season either. So he's the most expensive pitcher on the slate. And I just don't know if I can really justify playing him even against Cincinnati. But if Cincinnati, he just faced Cincinnati and only put 14.5 points up on DK. And for a 9-6 pitcher, I said, that's just not enough for me. His highest total was against Chicago at 26.5 for the year, but he struggled against Philly at 13.9, 14.6 against St. Louis, 6.1 against Baltimore. He's gotten 6 strikeouts in his last couple of games, but before that it was only 3. So I think he'd probably be my 3rd favorite pitcher on the slate. I can definitely see playing him. Against Cincinnati, if Cincinnati turns back into the Cincinnati that we've seen over the last month or so. Gutierrez on the other side is an absolute fade. Milwaukee is probably my favorite stack on the slate against them, and Cincinnati I think makes a good GPP one if Hauser regresses. You have the Blue Jays and the Yankees. You have Berrios and Talon, 2 decent pitchers here. Actually, I think both pitchers have pitched against each other recently. Tyone just faced the Blue Jays, had 20 DK points, 4 Ks, gave up 1 earned run, 5 hits in 6 innings. Overall, like he's having a decent season. And then looking at Berrios, he had a rough time out against Cleveland. He had negative 6 points, gave up 6 runs. But before that, like he's really had a decent season, like 19.4 against Houston. Played Boston back-to-back, had 20 and 16. Did play the Yankees early in the season, had 9-9 points, 5 strikeouts in that one. So and he's a little bit cheaper there too. So 2 other options. The bats, I think, are just GPP because the pitching are decent, the bullpens are decent. And then finally, we have the Guardians against the White Sox. Savale has just been a really bad pitcher also. He has a 9.45 ERA on the season. Yes, he had a good gem against Toronto last time out at 20.6, but he was in negative DK points 2 times before that. So he's an absolute GPP potentially for me, but I think he should probably go on the fade list with Peters and Gutierrez. And Vasquez is just not the same pitcher he was in Philly. I think, especially at like 8-9, I get it in the context of the slate, but really that's a lot to pay for him. Cleveland has been decent against right-hand pitching, and I think they make a decent GPP stack. And even over Toronto and New York, that might be my favorite. So let's look at a quick breakdown in here. So I'm going Berrios in cash. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I think it's an even matchup there. I know he only didn't do well against the Yankees early in the season, but his current form has looked better and he's cheaper. And it helps you get some more bats in there. If you want to go Tyone over him, go ahead. If you think that Cincinnati is going to be Cincinnati that we've seen recently, then go Hauser there. I would not go Vasquez. But I think Pepperot is going to be my SP2 here. Then I'm definitely, like I said, I'm stacking the Milwaukee Brewers and the LA Dodgers. So Navarez or Smith, or go cheap a catcher if that works for you. Tellis or Freeman. I kind of like Tellis having the splits advantage. Second base, whoever fits. If there's somebody in the stack, then that's great. Wong maybe. Muncy at third base. It is a righty, so for Pittsburgh, but I think he'll be out of the game quickly. So if you can get up to, if Muncy is too expensive, or you want Josh Turner, I'm fine with that too. Adames or Turner at shortstop, Betts, Yelich, and then whatever outfielder fits in there for a stack to make it work. If you want to take like Bellinger or Lux or some kind of LA guy, that's fine. If you want to take Renfro or McCutcheon from Milwaukee, that's fine too. For GPP, I am actually going to target, I think I'm going to go Tyone there. And then I think I'm actually going to target Hauser. So I want to take, and I want the White Sox too. So Grandal, Moran has great BVP against Hauser. Makata, Anderson, Elrod, Friedel has been leading off and it's been decent. And then I would just fill in with whatever works here with if you can get more White Sox. Second base, there really isn't a great option, I don't think, in either team. So whoever fits there, and then your outfielder again, whoever fits. If you want to put another White Sox like Sheet or somebody in there, that's fine, or somebody cheap like I think from the White Sox or Cincinnati, then either way there, that's going to round that off. So let's switch over to the afternoon slate quick. So early slate starts at 12:35. Afternoon slate is starting at 3:40 today. We have the Marlins and Diamondbacks, a decent pitching matchup. Alcantara, Merrill Kelly, both totals are 3.75, under 4. So either pitcher there, I think, are good. I think I favor Kelly just a little bit there. You have the Phillies and Seattle Mariners. You have Bailey Fallett, who failed in Major League, got sent back down against Logan Gilbert. So Gilbert's the highest priced pitcher on the slate, but I think I would rather take Kelly or Alcantara in that matchup, because Philly's bats, even though they've been quiet times, are still pretty good. And you got two like really good lefties there with Schwarber and Harper at the top of the order. So I think, and the Phillies run total is only 3.10. And I don't think the Seattle bullpen's that great either. So if you're betting on DK Sportsbook and you can still get that 3-1, I would bet the over on that, definitely. Bat wise, I think Seattle is a great GPP stack. Phillies also. Actually, I think the Seattle can do in cash against the failed pitcher. Phillies bullpen, like we saw what happened to the Mets a couple weeks ago there, where they completely blew an 8-run lead. So I think, Seattle's definitely, but they would be my third favorite stack, because I think San Diego and San Francisco by far are better choices there. And Philly probably would definitely make the number 1 GPP stack. Colorado and San Francisco, you have Chad Krul and Eric Cobb. San Francisco's total, I think, is a little high, because Chad Krul is not that bad of a pitcher, and I think I really like him as my favorite, probably GPP guy here at 8.2. A little bit expensive, but Alex Cobb, I think, definitely makes your SP2 in cash. Colorado's not as good outside of Coors, especially against right-handed pitching. They really don't have too many good left-handed bats here, and San Francisco offense, I think, makes one of the top stacks against Krul, even though he's not a bad pitcher. I think all the lefties here really are a good matchup for them. Then you have the Cubs in San Diego, wind blowing across the field 11 miles per hour, so that's not a factor. Mark Leiter Jr., again, I think he has struggled up in Major League, got sent back down. Now he's coming back up for a start today against Nick Martinez, who started off the season pretty bad, wasn't getting some Ks, has done better. So I think he's usable here, but I think I'd prefer Krul in the medium range over him. If you need to drop down to save like $400, I get it. I think that's okay, because I think he's got win equity here, especially on FanDuel. I did look at his pricing there, though. So Cubs, I think, make a sneaky stack against him if he's going to revert back to his old form. They do have some power here. And the Padres, I think, are by far against Leiter Jr. and the Chicago bullpen are a top stack on the slate. So again, my cash build, I'm looking at Kelly and Cobb. If you want to throw Alcantara in there, that's fine. If you want to go Gilbert, that's fine. Any of those guys in the high range, I think are good, but those are the two that I like. So I'm stacking San Francisco and San Diego. If you want to go down to Torrance from Seattle, I think he's reasonable at 3-1, has the splits advantage and hits a little bit higher than ninth in the order. So saves you a little bit of money there. Hosmer or Belt, I think they're both really good options. Like Belt has come back. But Hosmer is actually hitting like I think 356 on the season. It's been sneaky good there, kind of quietly. Cronenworth, Machado, Brandon Crawford. Make sure you don't take Seattle Crawford there, and then fill out with San Francisco or San Diego outfielders. So you can take Profar, you take Will Myers, take Trent Grissom if he's in the lineup there. Lamont Wade could be leading off for San Francisco. Jock Peterson, Yastrzemski, all left-handers. Have the advantage there. If you need to save a little bit, Luis Gonzalez is 3-1 if you paid up for like Gilbert in at your SP1. And then finally for GPP, taking Gilbert and Krul here, I'm going to stack Chicago against Martinez, and I'm going to take Seattle. So Contreras of France, whoever works for you at second base there. Suarez, J. Crawford, not B. Crawford. Ortega, Suzuki might be banged up and might not be in the lineup. He was dealing with ankle soreness, and then Hap would be another option. And then fill in with another like J. Rod from Seattle or another Chicago outfielder, whatever makes your stack work there. So for the main stacked slate today, since we don't have time to do a video, if you go to FSi DFS tonight, we will post our core for free. So we'll have that out for you for tonight's 7 o'clock slate. It'll probably be finalized around, usually around like 6:30 or 6:35 on the bottom of the sheet where it says for early use only. We will put that as finalized so you'll know that you're good to go. And just as an added bonus, it won't just have like our cash and GPP plays for DK and our pitchers and our stacks. We'll have the FanDuel on it. We'll have all our showdown on it, and we will actually have tiers on it also. So added little bonus for you guys, for your local, for our loyal viewers who watched to the end of this video. So appreciate you all. If you have questions on the slate, drop them in the comments below. Reach out to me Twitter at Megaruler31. We'll see what we can do to help, especially if something changes in the course of the day. And again, we've had some success over the last couple of days. Love the interactions we've had over the last couple of weeks. So keep the questions coming. Keep reaching out to me on Twitter. Let's build a great community here to help each other make great baseball lineups and do well in DFS. So appreciate you watching. Please give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time.